So I hope you're excited as I am because today we're going to discuss my favorite citizenship investment program. Hello everyone, I'm Irena, Deputy Operations Manager in Nomad Capitalist, where we help people to go where they're treated best. So I have to say, this was a very difficult job for me because the favorite citizenship investment program really depends on your wishes and it really depends on your goals. That's where we come in to tell you, okay, so this citizenship is exactly for your wishes and goals. But I will focus on me this time. And from the operational point of view, I think that I narrowed my choice to three options. Of course, number three, number two, and number one. I will start with my number three. So my number three option is Turkish citizenship. If you have watched some other videos, you will see that, well, I am in love with Turkey. So that's mostly the reason why Turkey is on my third place. The process is relatively easy. You can get the citizenship by investing in real estate, which always goes up. Turkey is a beautiful place to live. You can rent out the property that you purchased and get a passive income through that. It does offer visa-free travel to 111 countries, which is not very good. Doesn't have a visa-free access to the EU. So if you do not have a tier A passport that gives you that visa-free travel, this might not be a very good option, but it's still relatively good because, again, the real estate investment offers passive income throughout the years. Second place goes to St. Lucia. St. Lucia is, well, relatively my favorite, but when I compared the two, and you will see which one is in the first place, I think that St. Lucia deserves the second place. So it's relatively easy to get the St. Lucian citizenship. Well, every time you need to collect the documents for some citizenship, it's not that easy. But if you have our help, it's easy. So the process is relatively quick. I would say that it takes approximately 4 months to receive the passport once you submitted your application. You can do it through the online portal. It's not the cheapest one out there, but for the single applicant, it is. So it only requires you to invest $100,000. And it does offer visa-free travel to 146 countries, which is still good considering the previous one that we've mentioned, which was Turkey. And the first option for me, drum rolls please, is St. Kitts. So St. Kitts and Nevis is one of my favorite countries in the Caribbean. I've heard wonderful things about St. Kitts and Nevis from our clients and from the people who visited. It's definitely on my bucket list. And apart from that, well, it's tax haven. And it's a wonderful place to live. Apart from the vacation spots, like the beaches and so on, the people are very welcoming. The process to get the citizenship is relatively easy. Again, nothing that includes document collection is easy, but again, we're here to help you out. If you are in a rush to get your second passport, St. Kitts offers a rush fee when you would pay $25,000 and get your citizenship approved in 1 to maximum of 2 months after submitting your application. The St. Kitts and Nevis also has a very strict due diligence. I know that this is something that you didn't think, but recently, the head of Citizenship Investment Unit has changed, and they really started to reviewing applications in a very, very strict aspect. So that means, again, I know that you would think, well, that's not very good, but the stricter due diligence process is, the better reputation that country and that passport has. So St. Kitts overall doesn't have a lot of it does have a lot of documents, but the forms are not that complicated like in some other countries and so on. It does require an apostille, so that's a minus, but it has a visa-free travel access to 161 countries, which is, out of all countries offering citizenship investment program in the Caribbean, the biggest number. It does offer visa-free travel to Canada as of recently, well, same for St. Lucia as well, but it does also offer visa-free travel to Russia, for example. So again, there are some pros and cons to that. So the pros, I think I mentioned. The con would be, well, you do have Turkey and Grenada, for example, that offers an E2 and the possibility to apply for an E2 visa for the US. St. Kitts doesn't have that option. However, based on all the pros that I mentioned, I think that it still remains at number one spot. Of course, another con would be that you do not have a visa-free travel to countries such as the US and or Australia, but if you do have a tier A passport next to your St. Kitts one, it's very good to kind of fill in the gaps and to provide you visa-free travel access to all of the other countries that, for example, your current passport doesn't provide you with. And that's pretty much it. So that is my number 3, number 2, and number 1 passport or citizenship investment program that I would recommend and that for me personally is the best. However, again, this all depends on your goals and wishes. And that's why we're here for you to tell us your goals and your wishes, and we find the best suitable option for you. If this is something that you're not interested about, I mean, if the St. Kitts or St. Lucia or Turkey doesn't really meet your goals, you can check out our website or get in touch with us, and we will be able to find everything that you need and to get you down to the finish line.